Good evening. It's 8 o'clock. The top headlines tonight. Well, it's now become the government, India's top ministers and Bollywood stars versus international singer Rihanna. The Ministry of External Affairs issues a statement saying the temptation of celebrities using sensational hashtags is not accurate or responsible. Meanwhile, Akshay, Ajay Devgan, Karan Johar, Sachin Tendulkar all tweet with the hashtag India Against Propaganda. Well, the Rihanna impact is that farmers protest the hashtag trends globally. Thousands at a Mahapanchayat of Kisan Union leader Rakesh Tikayat in Jind in Haryana. Tikayat warns that next they will be threatening power if the young people's demands are not met. From western UP to Haryana, why Rakesh Tikayat's support is growing. Meanwhile, police are building new barriers at the Singhu border in Delhi. The opposition unites as the debate begins on the farm protest in the Rajya Sabha, but no debate in the Lok Sabha, so adjournments stall the House through the day. The government warns Twitter of tough action, saying Twitter can't be a court and just justify non-compliance of a government ruling. The row as Twitter unblocks accounts with what the government says was a controversial hashtag on farmers' genocide. So let's just look at what the latest is on vaccinations, and the other big news that the Sensex has crossed 50,000 today. The closing is at 50,000. Team India prepares for Friday's test match. Ajinkya Rahane says, now I'm taking a back seat and helping the captain Virat Kohli. And India's biggest air show takes to the skies. There are no spectators, but the show must go on. Our lead story tonight, well, a tweet late last night from a CNN report by international singer Rihanna has got the whole government and India's top Bollywood stars up in arms against her and international celebrities. Just now, the foreign minister has tweeted, as has Amit Shah, all with the hashtag of India Against Propaganda, rebutting statements made not just by Rihanna, but also by other activists like Greta Thunberg and also Meena Harris, the niece of the United States Vice President Kamala Harris, Amit Shah, the foreign minister, and Sachin Tendulkar, the latest to tweet. So why is it that the Rihanna impact has caused the government of India to respond in an unprecedented move?
Why aren't we talking about this? This tweet by mega pop star Rihanna has taken the farmers' protest to a whole new level, with the government of India no less responding and engaging in a battle of hashtags. At 8:59 p.m. India time, Rihanna tweeted. At 1:34 a.m., teen climate activist Greta Thunberg tweeted a message of solidarity. At 5:04 a.m., Meena Harris, the niece of the US president, tweeted, "We all should be outraged by India's internet shutdowns and paramilitary violence against farmer protesters." In an unprecedented move, the government of India responded. The temptation of sensationalist social media hashtags and comments, especially when resorted to by celebrities and others, is neither accurate nor responsible. Protest by a very small section of farmers in parts of India. Vested interest groups trying to enforce their agenda on protests and derail them. The External Affairs Ministry even put out two hashtags, India Together and India Against Propaganda, countering the ones on farmers' protest. A BJP spokesperson accused Rahul Gandhi, Rihanna and even a porn actor turned media personality of being anti-national elements.
वहां वो षड्यंत्र करते हैं, एंटी इंडिया एलिमेंट्स के साथ मीटिंग करके ये प्रपंच रचते हैं हिंदुस्तान को बदनाम करने के लिए, चाहे वो रिहाना हो, चाहे वो मियां खलीफा हो। ये राहुल गांधी का बिल्कुल पहला काम है और यही राहुल गांधी करते हैं विदेश में जाके।
Why is Delhi being converted into a fortress? Why are we threatening our farmers, beating our farmers, killing our farmers? Why is the government not talking to the farmers?
Soon, top ministers of the government were tweeting using the official hashtags, as did Bollywood stars. Young protesters, surprised by Rihanna's tweet, are asking why top Indian celebrities are not speaking out in their favor.
इंटरनेशनल हाइप तो क्रिएट होगा ही होगा बिकॉज यू नो शी इज सच अ बिग पर्सनालिटी, शी इज अ पर्सोना, तो उसको बहुत सारे स्टार्स भी फॉलो करते हैं, तो उसके साथ एक ट्रेंड चलता है. बहुत सारे बड़े सेलिब्रिटीज उनमें कोई कुछ नहीं बोला, तो आई थिंक इट्स अ शेम ऑन देम.
Reacting to Rihanna's tweet, Kangana Ranaut, with 3 million followers on Twitter, called her a fool and tweeted in her words, "No one is talking about it because they are not farmers, they are terrorists." The same terrorist comment which had led to escalation of her Twitter spat with Diljit Dosanjh in the past. While Dosanjh quickly put out a thank you Rihanna song. He hit out at Ranaut, tweeting, "Jaat di kod kirli, Shatiriya nu japhe," which simply means a person with lesser influence attacking a highly powerful person. So now, this war of hashtags is between the government, ministers, Bollywood stars, and Rihanna with others. Canadian Sikhs like Jagmeet Singh, who heads the main Canadian opposition party, late-night TV show host Lily Singh, and poet Rupi Kaur have also tweeted. Lily thanked Rihanna for tweeting and said, "This is a humanity issue. Hashtag I stand with farmers, and this narrative is tired." Just why Rihanna tweeted on the farmers' protest isn't clear, although she's known for commenting on political issues, even posting on the Myanmar coup a few minutes after her India post.
Rihanna and Greta Thunberg's Twitter post together received nearly 1 million likes. Hashtag farmer protest was top trend in India and worldwide with over 1.1 million tweets. Within an hour after the government's response, there were 200,000 plus pro-government tweets. Greta also posted a photo of the farmer protest on Instagram with over 100,000 likes. The word Rihanna was searched over 200,000 times on Google alone. With Arun Singh, Revati Hariharan for NDTV.
So we have BJP spokesperson Sambit Patra calling Rihanna anti-national. We have Diljit having a song for Riri. So all the action there on the online space, but offline, here's the reality. Thousands gathered at Farmer Union leader Rakesh Tikayat's Mahapanchayat in Jeend in Haryana. Now, why is this important? Remember that Rakesh Tikayat is from western Uttar Pradesh, so his political support base has mainly been there, though he has, of course, lost elections in the past. So it's interesting that even in Jeend, which is the center of Haryana's Jat politics, he drew such huge crowds, including women protesters. Remember, Haryana Deputy Chief Minister Dushyant Chautala's constituency is also in Jeend district.
These massive anti-farm law Mahapanchayats, so far seen in the UP's Jat belt, now spread to Haryana. This one held in Jeend district, the political capital of Haryana, the epicenter of the state's Jat politics. Unusually for Haryana, the loudest cheers for Rakesh Tikayat, the Jat leader from western Uttar Pradesh, whose emotional appeal went viral, triggering a resurgence of the anti-farm law protests. This village, Kandela, was the first in this region to have sent men to Tikayat's sit-in at the Delhi-UP Ghaziabad border in response to the video.
चौधरी देवीलाल को ताऊ देवीलाल की उपाधि दी गई थी. अब हमें राकेश टिकैत को दादा टिकैत की उपाधि देने लग रही है जी.
The frenzy so high and the rush to be on stage so great that at one point the stage collapsed. Tikayat, unhurt, told the gathering that our demand are same: repeal the laws.
हमने अभी बिल वापसी की बात करी है. सरकार कान खोल कर सुन ले. अगर इस नौजवान ने गद्दी वापसी की बात कर दी तो क्या करोगे? अगर इसने गद्दी वापसी की बात कर दी तो क्या करोगे? आप अपना काम कर लो, ये बिल वापसी ले लो.
district is always considered as the political capital of Haryana. The district has 5 assembly seats, 3 represented by the JJP, which is partner in the government. This Mahapanchayat is a clear call to all the leaders who are in the government, especially Dushyant Chaudhary. But since this agitation has started, Dushyant has not spoken a word against the farm laws, but he maintained this line that we can resolve the crisis with discussions, or the government is ready to accept the demands and make amendments in the laws.
JJP है ना, वो बीजेपी की बी टीम है सर. हमने JJP को वोट दिया था, ना कि बीजेपी को.
Gatherings like this are likely to further turn up the heat.
At Kandela village has come to an end, attended by Rakesh Tikait, Balbir Singh Rajewal and other farm union leaders, KHAP leaders and female leaders from Haryana. But a strong message has been sent out to the entire Haryana that come out in numbers, support those who are sitting at protest site near Delhi border to get the laws repealed. With camera person Ashwini Mehra in Jind, Mohammad Ghazali for NDTV.
Meanwhile, at the Delhi borders where the protest sites currently are, the police are moving every day to build new barriers. We have this report from the Singhu border from Saurabh Shukla.
Right now we are standing at Singhu border because media is not allowed today to enter from that side of Delhi. So we have walked almost 6 kilometers to reach here, and you can see the preparations by Delhi police. They have made a wall with concrete and these iron rods. They have placed these 3 feet iron rods and they have sharpened them. So these farmers cannot enter to Delhi. And you can see that the cranes are there. They are digging National Highway and they are going to build a second wall here, and they have covered the iron nails with the cloth. You can see that cloth that they have covered it with iron cloth, and you can see these beams and iron rods they are going to put inside there, and then they will place another set of barricades. And you can see that's Delhi and that is Haryana.
And these barricades and the cases against farmers and the larger issue of farm laws came up in the Rajya Sabha today, where a debate began on the President's address. The opposition here agreed to this because the government agreed to 15 hours of discussion in the Rajya Sabha. Let's listen to what the opposition said today and the BJP.
लुट गया माल तेरा, लुट गया माल में पगड़ी संभाल जट्टा पगड़ी संभाल. आपके हमारे सब हिंदुस्तान के 130 करोड़ लोगों के अन्नदाता, हमारे इनके बगैर हम कुछ भी नहीं. जो कुछ भी आज हम हैं, इंसान को जिंदा रहने के लिए 3 वक्त की रोटी और 2 वक्त की रोटी तो कम से कम होनी चाहिए. इनसे क्या लड़ाई लड़नी? हमें लड़ाई लड़ने के लिए और बहुत फ्रंट है. हमारी बॉर्डर पे जो दुश्मन खड़ा है, पाकिस्तान है, चीन है, हम मिलके उनका लड़ाई करेंगे. हम आपके साथ.
किसानों की जान जा चुकी है. सरकार ऐसी निर्दयी हो गई है कि उसके ऊपर कोई असर ही नहीं हो रहा है. अब किसान अपनी मन की बात कहना चाहता है, इसलिए आया क्योंकि वो अगर टेलीविजन और रेडियो पे उसकी बात आ नहीं सकती.
What happened on 26th of January at Red Fort is most unfortunate. No Indian can appreciate this. But sir, putting the whole blame squarely on few farmer organization or few farmer leaders is not going to solve the problem. Proper, impartial inquiry should be instituted into the incident.
कानून को बनाने से पहले कुछ लोगों ने कहा कि लोगों में चर्चा नहीं हुई. इस 15-20 साल में, 2 दशक में 12 एक्सपर्ट्स की कमेटी बनी है. बाहर कहते हैं स्वामीनाथन रिपोर्ट लागू करो. 2006 तक स्वामीनाथन की रिपोर्ट तो 6 में आ गई थी.
So the debate in the Rajya Sabha, but in the Lok Sabha, adjournments continued. There's been no agreement on the discussion here between the government and the opposition. So slogans continued against farm laws in the government as the Lok Sabha was adjourned 3 times. It is currently adjourned as well. Well, first the government versus Rihanna, and now the government versus Twitter, as the government sent a notice warning Twitter to comply or face action. The government said Twitter unilaterally unblocked accounts which used a controversial hashtag linking the Prime Minister and farmers' genocide. The government says Twitter cannot assume the role of a court and justify non-compliance, that they have to comply with what is the law of the land or face tough action. We haven't got a response on Twitter yet on the government's latest notice. Well, our other big story which NDTV is tracking closely, and that of course is vaccinations. Now, Sukirti, there seems to be a contradiction because India is the fastest to vaccinate 4 million, yet vaccinations are showing a sharp drop.
Well, yes, the Union Health Ministry today declared that India is the fastest country to reach the 4 million mark. It achieved that mark in about 18 days. But if we look at the last 7 days and how vaccination numbers have been coming down, until about 27 and 28 January, we were carrying out at least 5.7 lakh vaccinations per day. Now we are back to 1.8 to 1.9 lakh vaccinations per day. Even the average beneficiaries that were being vaccinated per site has come down from about 57 to 49 at this point of time. And all of this in the larger picture where India has sent out more vaccines than the people that have been vaccinated within the country. So far, at least 41 lakh people have been vaccinated in India, while over 56 lakh vaccines have already been sent out and 9 lakh more will be exported to other countries. So while we compare ourselves to other countries and say that we are the fastest to reach the 4 million mark, we still have a long way to go in terms of achieving our own targets, and that is something even public health experts are agreeing to. We earlier spoke to Dr. Dilip Mavlankar, who's the head of the Indian Institute of Public Health, and this is what he had to say.
If we have to vaccinate 60 crore doses, which is 30 crore people in next 6 months, we will have to very rapidly increase the pace of vaccination. The average pace will have to be 33 lakh doses to be given every day. For this, government must open more and more vaccination centers.
In fact, that is the big question. Why isn't the government allowing the private sector, and why not expand it to senior citizens? How is it that more doses have been sent abroad than Indians have currently been vaccinated in India? We'll keep tracking that story. But some good news, the markets extending their post-budget rally have crossed and closed above 50,000. So that's a big citadel scale there by the Sensex. The Nifty also up by 142 points. All this, of course, in the post-budget euphoria, which every day has been touching new record highs. All eyes today in Bengaluru on the skies as Asia's biggest air show, Aero India, began today. No spectators, but the show must go on.
With a strong stress on Make in India, Aero India 2021 got off the ground. Despite the pandemic, organizers believed the show should go on. The government formally sealed a 48,000 crore rupee deal for 83 LCA Tejas planes, the biggest Make in India defense contract with the state-run aerospace giant Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. The contract was signed in the presence of Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, who inaugurated the 13th edition of this aeronautics and defense show.
हिंदुस्तान एरोनॉटिक्स लिमिटेड को अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 48,000 करोड़ का ऑर्डर इसमें मिला है और इंडिजिनस एयरक्राफ्ट भारत में भी तैयार होंगे.
The visual highlight of any air show, the air display. One thing that remains a constant at Aero India 2021.
For the first time this year in Aero India 2021, the Sarang team and the Surya Kirans are actually performing together. One of the highlights of each of the day, there are 2 air displays a day, morning and evening. So business also being conducted. People display the latest equipment in defense and aerospace here at Aero India.
The event has international participation this year as well.
It's a huge challenge, and congratulations to the government of India and the government of Karnataka for pulling it off. I bet a lot of people thought it wouldn't happen.
The 3-day event will not have the usual 2 days set aside for the public due to the pandemic. With Govind Murthy, Maya Sharma in Bengaluru for NDTV.